Hey guys, it's Mark from North 7 Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about a few lures from last year that didn't make the top 5, but some that I liked and some that I didn't like so much. So coming up, let's talk about it. Let's start off with the negatives here. So, Strike King punch bugs here. Look, the punch bug is meant as for punching, obviously. But I also thought it could work decently as like a creature bait, maybe a trailer on a jig. You know, bass are kind of weird. They'll eat anything. Not so much. It's a very, very tough lure. There's just not a lot of bogs where I am in north central Ontario. West McCoon on the south end has a few bogs to punch, but I mean largely there's thick vegetation, but there's not a lot of mats and then like 5 feet of water underneath them. For punching, there just is not. They're just not there on a lot of lakes. Alright, let's go to the positive here. So Gary Yamamoto, obviously I'm not talking about Gary Yamamoto Senkos here. We all know they work. But this is more, I picked up a bunch of them last year, a tray. And a lot of them had the chartreuse tips, and the chartreuse tips are the real deal. I was actually surprised with how well they worked. I think the chartreuse tip is more for like dingier, discolored water, but they work in Clear Lakes, Ontario, and they work well. Alright, now that I see it here, let's grab this rod. Alright. So this is the River to Sea Bully Watu frog. This is the tactical bassin frog. The Mad Allen color, it's called the Little Allen. So that's the frog right there. This is a bigger size. I'm going to talk negatively about this frog. The frog works. It has a good hookup ratio. It fills with water. So it's not a very good product. Do not buy it. Look, I have a tactical bassin hoodie. I've given them money. I've listened to their advice. That's a shitty product. Sorry for swearing, but it is what it is. It doesn't mean I hate the guys. I'll still watch their YouTube videos. I'll still take their advice, but that thing fills with water, so I'm not going to flip it off on camera, but, you know. Alright, moving on. Positive. Alright, the Strike King shimmy stick. They've been around forever, have some weird colors. These things work. They work well. That's the point of this, is that they go on sale extremely cheap, like Yumdinger cheap. You can get them for like $1.60 US on sale at Tackle Warehouse occasionally. So you're into it for about $2 Canadian. Can't go wrong with a brand new pack of soft plastics for about $2 Canadian. Nickels. Alright, so I'm always trying, you know, different soft plastic lures. These were clearanced. I've never tried Nichols soft plastics other than the Nichols Trailblazer, and they work very well. They're very flat profile. They're very angled off. Worked very well. Just Texas rigged. I didn't use them enough to put them in the top 5, but I have used them. I did catch quite a few bass on the creature baits. Big bite baits. Rarely do I buy large sums of soft plastics without testing out a couple packs. The BFE was probably the exception. They were heavily discounted. I thought that they would be similar to like the Missile D-bombs. Like I thought I would just love these creature baits, but you know, as in the name, best flipper ever. They're a flipping bait. They're not like a good creature bait. Same thing with the Strike King punch bug. If you're gonna buy these, use it for punching. Don't use it for throwing on a Texas rig and flipping a tree. I mean, these things are meant for punching, as far as I'm concerned, with my experience of buying them. So again, the only real negative product that I've got here is the River to Sea, which is just an inferior quality product. Not that I hate River to Sea, it's just, or Tactical Bassin, it's just not a very good product. Everything else is probably my misinterpretation of what I thought I could use that for. Okay, so V&M, same thing with Nichols. I've tried V&M product before, just once. Little, not their chopstick Senko, but kind of like a shaky head worm. with Jacob Prosnick before he moved over to Yamamoto Baits. So this is a clip paste wild thing. Kind of like the Nichols, it's not angled off as much. It's less flat. But this thing is a stud. Realistically, last year I only had 3 bass that I can legitimately say were in the 5-pound category. One I caught, one I missed on a jig, and one broke me off on 20-pound fluorocarbon with a 3 or 4/0 Gamakatsu hook and a weightless V&M wild thing. And that thing was a freaking giant. I saw it come up and try and spit the hook. Felt bad. Thought it was hung up in like some sticks. Like there's lots of sticks on the bottom of there. I'm like, how the hell am I hung up on like sticks? I've got like but it was just a giant largemouth. So there we go. And the important thing is why I tried these is, again, like the Nichols, they were heavily discounted for like $2. So these are 2 creature baits I'll definitely be throwing in 2023. So there we go, guys. Those are some lures that I like talking about tackle. There's some lures there. Didn't make the top 5, but I thought, hey, if you get your chance to pick up some of these, go for it. It's almost May, so I should be getting into panfish soon. I've got a lot of work to do at the cottage. I mean, when that tornado came through there last year, it left a lot of deadheads up there, so I'm a little worried about what kind of condition the road will be in. Would like to do some speckled trout fishing. Definitely have to make it back up to the cottage very shortly. The ice just left. The ice, well, there's probably a few like icebergs out there floating in the lake still, but I think the ice is just leaving now probably, or will be gone by this upcoming weekend. So then we can get into pan fishing. Maybe some lake trout. I want to dial in my live scope a little bit more. Trolling for lake trout, I think, and I'd like to hike into the old pond for some speckled trout, because I don't think I've ever taken the camera with me up there. Anyways, guys, so that's what's coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and we should have new fishing videos shortly, and I'll figure out something to do for this upcoming weekend. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.